The great George Haynes, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. 96.7 TSA FM. There's Main Skin, 7:38 here on a Thursday morning at the Morning Brew. It's Ian, being joined by a very special guest this morning. And without further ado, a co-founder of Project Feed the Thousands, when it was initially known as just Project Feed. And he'll tell you all about that too. I get to welcome the co-founder, a tremendous friend of the station and community, George Haynes. How are you, sir?
Doing very well.
You
Good morning.
You doing okay?
Doing good. Doing good.
All right, so you get out this morning. Did you have to do some shoveling? Did you get the ice scraper out? Was it the first time you got the ice scraper out this morning?
No, because our garage is inside, so the car was nice and warmed up.
Look at you.
No ice, no snow.
No need to gloat there,
Open the
Haynes.
garage door, back it out. It was fine.
What was that? Today, it was like a special day. I had to get the ice scraper. I was like, it was kind of sad. I was like, where is it? Oh, it's in the trunk. I got to go get the ice scraper. But anyways, welcome. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see you this time of the year as we are talking about, of course, Project Feed the Thousands, Project Feed 2021. Before we talk about where we are right now in 2021, let's kind of go back in time if we can. Let's talk about when this was initially founded.
Yeah.
And it was 1994, the year, right?
Right.
And it was just Project Feed. Tell us about it and tell us what necessitated the beginning of this.
Okay, well, in 1994, it was Project Feed the Thousand, singular, not thousands. There were about 1,000 people in the area that were hungry, in need of assistance. And I was at the bank, Larry was at the radio station, and
You're talking about Larry Smith.
Larry Smith, the other co-founder. We wanted to. The idea was to collaborate to do something for the community on an ongoing basis. And I'll tell you what the vision was. My vision was that we had something that would certainly benefit the community, like the reformer Christmas stocking that had been going on for 50 or 60 years at that time. And it took care of a definite need, and it involved the whole community, as you know, keeping children warm, coats and boots and things like that. So when Larry and I talked about it, Larry was the one that came up with the idea about a food drive, and I'm saying food for, who is it? So we took me to the drop-in center. We saw that the people in need of food were not people living under the Hinsdale Bridge, but people that, everyday people, young mothers, families struggling, elderly. And so we decided that we would start a food drive, and we named it Project Feed the Thousand, and hoped that we could broaden it over time and involve the community. So that was the start. The first year we said, well, we'll fill a tractor trailer truck, which we parked in the bank parking lot as a visual, and asked people to bring food to the bank, which I don't think was the brightest idea. We came up the next year saying, why don't we have people drop food where they shop at the grocery store? But anyway, that's just a sort of a side note. So that was the start. And then as years went by, the community got more involved, particularly when we involved the schools. And they, young armies of people. And so when it started, elementary school, middle school, high school, and I was doing looking at some archives just to give you an idea of the differences in the campaign. In the year 2002, which was a few years into the campaign, and we were doing assemblies at that time at Brattleboro Union High School. And in fact, that was the year we presented the banner to the high school that hangs in the gymnasium with the other championship banners, saying that Brattleboro Union High School is recognized as community champions for their ongoing support of Project Feed the Thousands. But what I want to talk about in 2002, the interesting part about that was that the stats at that time were that 1 out of 12 children might go to bed hungry. You know what it is today? It's 1 out of 4.
I had heard 1 out of 4, and I had even heard 1 out of 3.
And it could be 1 out of 3 in certain areas. But anyway, just think about that. 2002, 1 out of 12. Now it's 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3. We were talking about maybe 4,000 people in the area at that time. We're probably talking 15 or 16,000 people in the area at this time. And, we're primarily at that time raising raising food and money for the Brattleboro Area Drop-In Center. Now we have 9 food shelves that we're supporting. You know, this thing it's going in the wrong direction.
Right.
But, you know, we're so thankful. The community seems to respond every year. So we're hoping that we can meet our goals this year. You know, we got some ambitious goals.
Absolutely. And in light of what has transpired the last couple of years, I think the need is even greater now because of obviously the pandemic and what challenges families are going through. As if life wasn't challenging enough, you include this pandemic and it really kind of compounds things.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You know, this year, I mean, last year they had the program Everyone Eats. I think that's kind of dried up, but that was a source of feeding people. We have inflation this year, you know, higher fuel prices, higher food prices, and the whole COVID thing. So yeah, it's a challenge, and more people are struggling just to make ends meet. And it isn't about, it's about how do you balance your budget? How do you have money for your rent? How do you have money for food? How do you have money for prescription medicine? How do you have money to buy gasoline or to heat your home?
Becomes overwhelming.
It is, and so if you can supplement your budget by using the food shelf and getting some help there, that's what helps keep people afloat.
And we do have some numbers that we are striving. I know we're going to hit those numbers too. I know George is here to give us an update. In terms of meals we have collected, I believe, how many so far?
245,000 out of our goal of 300. So we're looking pretty good on that. And of course, we've got next week the Fill the Bus, where all the schools bring food that they've been gathering. So that should be a big help.
Tremendous event. And cash-wise, we are shooting for $100,000. How short are we right now?
Well, this one we're struggling. We're about $67,000, so we're $33,000 short of our $100,000 goal. So we really want to ask and appeal to people. This is the time to, if you haven't done it, this is the time to please give us a cash donation. There's 3 ways to give us money. We'll take it any one of the 3.
Absolutely.
You can send a check to the 802 Credit Union. Post Office Box 8366 in North Brattleboro, 05304. So you can mail a check to Project Feed the Thousands, care of the credit union. We have a GoFundMe page. You also can go to projectfeedthethousands.org. We just need money, and we need that $33,000. So this is the time of the year. And the other thing we want to mention about Project Feed that sometimes goes unnoticed. Every dollar that's raised goes to buy food. There's no overhead. There's no administrative cost. This is an organization that is totally volunteer, and every dollar goes to buy food to help your neighbors.
It's a pretty amazing endeavor. George was talking about Friday, and it's going to be just a tremendous event. Of course, it's Project Feed's annual Fill the Bus live broadcast. We invite you to join us at Hannaford, Putney Road, obviously next Friday, 10 to 4, and it's just a blast to see area school kids get involved, the enthusiasm that they show, pretty tremendous. It's going to be a special time.
It is. It's a wonderful event, and again, we can't thank the students enough. That's one of the things that I think is a side note, and maybe equally as important in terms of raising food and money to help feed hungry people. It's a program that involves the entire community, and particularly it teaches people young and old, but young, you know, starting from preschool, elementary school, high school, middle school, about helping your neighbor, doing something to help other people. That's a very important lesson.
And we're not going to ignore the problem. We're going to be the solution this year. Co-founder, Project Feed, George Haynes. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. I'm sure I'll see you Friday, right?
Yes, you will.
All right, there's George Haynes. It is 7:47 here at the Morning Brew.
Thank you, Ethan. That's good.